There was a time in my life where I felt like I had to get everything right. You know, sometimes I still do, but every move, every decision, every word, it had to be perfect. Because if it wasn't, I'd fall behind or disappoint someone or ruin my entire future because of that decision. And at the time, I didn't even realize how much pressure I was putting on myself. Until one day, it kind of hit me. I looked around and I thought, why does everything feel so heavy all the time? Why am I taking everything so seriously? I think a lot of us grow up believing that we always have to be in control, right? Always have to have things figured out. You need a plan or you have to be working towards something. That there's this invisible scoreboard keeping in track of how productive I am, how successful I am, or how impressive I am. And we start tying our value to how much we're doing or how perfectly we're doing it. And one day I was kind of thinking, when was the last time I really laughed at myself? Or didn't take something so personally? Or did something completely random just because it made me smile? I feel like when you're always on a serious mode, you miss out on so much of what makes life, life. The spontaneity, the chaos, the imperfect, hilarious, and unpredictable mess of it all. Like I used to get anxious in smallest things. Saying the wrong thing in class, wearing an outfit that wasn't really cool enough, or not having like a 5-year plan at 20 years old. When I look back at it now, I took life so seriously. Not many things that I worried about back then really mattered in the long run. I mean, 5-year-old plan, maybe. Maybe I should have a grip on my life. But this is probably me just being serious again. But you know, at the time, it really felt like the end of the world. If I didn't achieve this, or if I said something wrong in the class, or if I didn't really have the best outfit that made me feel so good, I felt like my day was ruined, my week, or even my whole month was ruined. I was just taking everything so seriously, especially to myself. But the important lesson that I learned is that most of the time, the world isn't judging you as much as you think. People are busy thinking about their own lives, their own problems, or their own insecurities. So the pressure that you feel, most of it really isn't coming from outside, it's coming from you. And the moment you realize that, you start to laugh more, you start giving yourself permission to mess up, and you start taking risks, knowing that even if it fails, it's not that deep. And I think that's exactly when life starts to feel more light and more fun. Because guess what? You're allowed to be a little weird. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to not have everything figured out. Life's not a test. It's an experience. Some of the best memories that I have come from those moments where I wasn't trying to be impressive. You know, I was just being present, just being. Just laughing with the people I love, doing something random, making a fool out of myself, saying something dumb, not really worrying about how I looked or sounded. And that's what sticks. Not the perfect grades, not the rigid plans that you have, but the real, raw, and messy moments that just make you feel alive. So don't take life too seriously. Loosen your grip, take a deep breath, laugh at the awkward silence, trip over your words, wear the outfit that you really like, even if it's too much, and ask that question even if it sounds dumb. You don't need to be polished to be respected. You don't need to have it all together to be worthy of love, peace, or joy. The world doesn't need another perfect person. It needs more people who are real. The ones who can laugh at themselves, the ones who can dance offbeat, who can try, fail, and still show up anyway. That's the kind of energy that makes life feel more lighter. So go easy on yourself. You're doing just fine. And even if you're not, it's okay because no one really goes through this life without looking ridiculous sometimes. And honestly, I think that's part of the fun. So thanks for being here. You deserve to enjoy this life, not just survive it. I hope you guys are doing well wherever you are, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.